Hi guys, it's Anime OVO, and today is Chapter 3 of Shoji X Reader. There is a bit of a trigger warning closer to the end of the video, talking about self-boo-boo scars, as I will call it. If this is a sensitive topic for you, then you are more than welcome to click off and go watch another video. If you're still here, I hope you guys enjoy Chapter 3 of the video. Enjoy! The next morning, you wake up to your phone alarm letting off an awful screeching sound, letting you know it's time to wake up. You reach over and turn it off as you get out of bed and get into your uniform, ready to go to school. Went downstairs only to discover your mom had left a note on the counter. It reads, "Hey sweetheart, I am so sorry I left you at the mall. But there is a very dangerous criminal called Stain, and they need my help finding him. I should be back in 3 days. I love you. Signed, Mom." You sighed as you grabbed an apple and slipped your shoes on and went outside. You saw Mizo standing at the edge of your driveway. You smiled and waved at him, and he waved back as he met you halfway. "So you're starting a few days late," Mizo says. "Oh, yeah," you responded. "You okay?" he said. You looked up at him, and he was looking down at you with a worried look on his face. "Yeah, my mom's just really busy and I'm really worried about her," you said. "Oh, I'm sorry," Mizo said. He now had a smile on his face as if he was reassuring you that everything is going to be okay. You and Mizo got into the metro station and walked onto the train. Mizo got a few stares, but he seemed to be used to it. You two sat down next to each other, and it was like tiredness had just slapped you across the face, and you almost immediately fell asleep. Mizo's point of view. Me and Yana just stepped onto the metro train. As usual, I got a few stares. I was used to it though. We sat down next to each other and she almost immediately looked like she was about to pass out. She leaned her head on my shoulder, which made me feel extremely weird. I looked down at her and saw her peaceful face passed out on my shoulder. I let out a soft chuckle and let Yin sleep. I had never felt this way. Did I have a crush on her? No. She's just a friend, right? Whatever. I waited until the stop before UA to wake her up. After she did, she looked at me with tired eyes and gave me the saddest smile I had seen. I chuckled and gave her small head a pat. Narrator's point of view. You stepped off the metro staying close to Mizo. You didn't want to get lost after all. The walk to UA after the metro was only 5 minutes. As you got closer, you realized you genuinely didn't want to make friends, as if you had to move all over again. You look up at Mizo and suddenly realize, "Oh, I'm such an idiot," you thought as you approached Class 1A. You realized you needed to get something from your locker. "Hey Mizo, I'll be right back. I forgot something in my locker," you said. "Oh, okay." Mizo stepped into the classroom and you ran off to find your locker. Once you did, you pulled out the binder you needed and fixed your tie and quickly walked back to the class. You quietly slipped the door open, and almost immediately, everyone's head shot towards you, and a boy with ash blonde hair spoke. "Hey, wrong class, you damn extra," he said. You were taken aback by his response. Actually," before you could finish your sentence, you were cut off. "She's the new student who got based off of recommendations," a voice said. You look around to see a tired-looking man with long black hair standing in front of you. It was Aizawa. "Yin, would you like to introduce yourself?" Aizawa said. "Oh, sure. Hi, I'm Yin. I just moved here," you said. Aizawa nodded. "Alright, take a seat behind Katsuki Bakugo, the boy with the red eyes and the temper," Aizawa said. You nodded your head and took your seat. Mizo turned around to face you and gave you a thumbs up, which you returned. Aizawa started talking about electing a class president. You weren't sure who to vote for, so you just voted for yourself. It ended up being a small green-haired boy as the president and a curvy black-haired girl as the vice president. You laid your head down on your desk, almost drifting off to sleep. When alarms went off, you didn't even have time to stand up before everyone shoved one another to get out of the way of the door. Mizo rushed over to you and grabbed your hand. You had no idea what it was going on, but you didn't hear the alarm. "There's an intruder!" Somebody's attacking, Mizo said. Your eyes widened at those words. Mizo carefully pulled you through the crowd of people until somebody knocked you over. Your hand slipped from his, and you were getting stomped on by a crowd of people. You had no chance of getting up, so you just let it happen. Eventually, you took a hit to the head and passed out. You woke up to Katsuki Bakugo standing over you. You looked up at him and didn't know what he was going to do. Was he going to hurt you, laugh at you? Just then your thoughts were cut off when he picked you up and set you back on the ground and then walked away like nothing had happened. You were starting to get shoved around again until a blue-haired guy with glasses yelled something. You couldn't hear it, but everyone calmed down after that. You made it back to your classroom, and immediately everyone rushed over to you and looked at you. Your clothes were covered in footprints, and your sleeves had a little bit of blood on them. Everyone seemed worried, except for Katsuki, which you weren't surprised about. Just then, Mizo pushed through the class and picked your arm up and reached for your sleeve so he could pull it up. Before you had a chance, you were quickly cut off. Wait, Mizo, don't! It was too late. He had pulled your sleeve up, and everyone was looking about the 14 self-boo-boo scars you previously had. They weren't completely healed, and a deep gash from getting stepped on. Your eyes welled up in tears, and you looked up at Mizo, who was shocked and embarrassed, worried and sad. Tears welled up in your eyes as everyone stared at you. Katsuki got up, but before anyone could say anything, you pulled your arm and ran out of the room. Okay, that is the end of Chapter 3. I hope you guys all enjoyed it, and I will see you next time for Chapter 4.